Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Saturday. Got a bunch of matchups on this college football slate today, so be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. Go ahead, support the channel, guys. And go ahead, sign up with BroThrow, a great sponsor of the channel. If you guys love doing straight bets, you already know. Go ahead and sign up with BroThrow. Totally free to join. No house, no depositing. Super awesome. I got my free private betting group on the site, guys. I'll be posting a teaser today. We hit a teaser on Thursday. First one, we were on like a 4 or 5 game teaser losing streak here. So, we're 8-7 on the teasers here. We're bouncing back though. We got momentum. Got a nice win on Thursday. If you guys copied that teaser, we'll be posting in BroThrow today before the game starts. Probably like an hour before the games kick off. So definitely hop in there, guys. Totally free to do. And yeah, we'll hop in it. Gonna be a fun day. A lot of heavy hitter matchups today. Starting with Notre Dame versus Syracuse. Syracuse opening up as a 1.5 point home favorite with the over/under at 47.5. Notre Dame coming into this matchup 4-3, 3-4 covering the spread. Syracuse 6-1, 6-1 covering the spread. Head to head, Notre Dame is 5-2. So definitely been the better head to head team here. Notre Dame 5-0 covering on the road, but this is just a much different Syracuse team. Way different, the best Syracuse team I think they've had in many years. Notre Dame coming off a huge win against UNLV. And Syracuse coming off a 6-point loss against Clemson. Their only loss of the season against one of the best teams in the country. And, they had their chances to win that game too. They were actually winning in that game, so they really could be undefeated. And, yeah, this is a very good Syracuse team at home. They've been 6-1 covering the spread too. Notre Dame hasn't been that great this season here. Kind of a lost season for them. Love what Syracuse is doing. I like them to bounce back. Coming off that tough loss against Clemson here. I'm going to take Syracuse money line at home. Next matchup, we got Ohio State versus Penn State. Ohio State opening up as a 15.5 point road favorite with the over/under at 60.5. Ohio State coming into this matchup 7-0, 4-2-1 covering the spread. Penn State 6-1, 4-3 covering the spread. Head to head, Ohio State is 9-1. So definitely the most dominating head to head here. 14-1 on the road, 5-0 against Penn State. Yeah, coming off a 54-10 win against Iowa. I mean, they've just been murdering teams. Penn State coming off that huge win against Minnesota. But against the good team, the only good team they faced this season was Michigan, and they got beat down 41-17. And it's just going to be tough. I know they're at home here, but, they've struggled against Ohio State, Michigan, the good teams. I mean, I just don't think Penn State's, even though they're 6-1, man, Ohio State's a whole different beast. And it's a toss-up here. I do like Ohio State to win 100% here, but the spread is very questionable. I think it's a very high spread. I could totally see this being even just a 2-score game here with Penn State getting the cover. So plus 15.5, tough. I'm probably staying away from the spread. I'm probably going to do a teaser here with Ohio State. Get that point total down. Just because it's, that they could easily come out and murder Penn State. Or Penn State keeps it interesting and makes it a 1-possession game going into the fourth. I could see that happening as well. I'm taking Ohio State on the road here, and honestly, do what you want with the spread. The spread's questionable for me, so I'm going to stay away from the spread, but add Ohio State to your moneyline parlays. Next matchup, we got TCU versus West Virginia. TCU opening up as a 7.5 point road favorite with the over/under at 69. TCU coming into this matchup 7-0, 5-1-1 covering the spread. West Virginia 3-4, 4-3 covering the spread. Head-to-head, TCU or West Virginia is 6-4 head-to-head, but this is a much better TCU team. Undefeated here, one of the last unbeatens in the league. Coming off a huge 10-point win against Kansas State. I mean, the teams they've beaten is crazy. They've beaten Kansas State, Oklahoma State, two back-to-back, good ranked teams. West Virginia coming off a bad Texas Tech loss. And yeah, I love TCU on the road. I'm going to buy a point, get a -6.5. Take that money line on the road here. Next matchup, we got Cincinnati versus UCF. UCF opening up as a 1-point home favorite with the over-under at 56. Cincinnati coming into this matchup 6-1, 2-4-1 covering the spread. UCF 5-2, 4-3 covering the spread. Cincinnati is 4-3 head-to-head here. They're 10-1 on the road, 19-0 against the AACC conference. And Cincy coming off a 2-point win against SMU. I mean, they've been very good here ever since they're losing their opener. They've, on a 6-game winning streak. UCF coming off that bad East Carolina loss here. Yeah, and the Bearcats are ranked here, playing good. Give me Cincinnati +1 and money line on the road here. All right, next matchup, we got Florida versus Georgia. Georgia opening up as a 23.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 56.5. Florida coming out of this matchup 4-3, 3-4 covering the spread. Georgia 7-0, 4-3 covering the spread. Head-to-head, Georgia is 6-4. Yeah, Florida, 1-4 in their last 5 against Georgia, 1-4 covering against Georgia. Florida coming off that 10-point loss against LSU. And Georgia coming off a 55-0 win against Vanderbilt. I mean, pretty dominant all year. A couple close ones with Kent State, Missouri. Those are really the only 2 games that they haven't been able to really cover. And it's a lot of points, 23.5 here. It really is. But man, Georgia at home, Florida, we're going to see if they can how well they can do on the road. If it was at home, man, I'd probably like Florida a lot more here. But I'm going to take Georgia. I know minus 2,000. Throw them in your crazy parlays today. I will take a shot with Georgia minus 23.5 at home here. I mean, they've just been so dominant, especially covering the spread time. I mean, they've been beating down teams. We're just going to see if Florida can put up points and keep up and play defense against this Georgia offense. So I'll take Georgia both ways at home. Next matchup, we got Illinois versus Nebraska. Nebraska coming into this matchup, or Illinois opening up as a 7.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 50. Illinois coming into this matchup 6-1, 5-2 covering the spread. Nebraska 3-4, 2-5 covering the spread. Nebraska 6-3 head-to-head here. This is a very good Illinois team. I mean, they're playing great. Coming off a nice Minnesota win. They've beaten Iowa, beaten Wisconsin. Nebraska coming off a Purdue loss. It's a very good Illinois team. Playing great this season. Very under the radar, too. And I just like what they've been doing here. They've been very good on both sides of the ball here. Very good covering the spread. Going to buy a point. Take Illinois minus 6.5 at money line on the road. All right, next matchup, we got Oklahoma State versus Kansas State. Kansas State opening up as a 1.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 56. Oklahoma State coming into this matchup 6-1, 5-2 covering the spread. Kansas State 5-2, 4-2-1 covering the spread. Head-to-head, Oklahoma State is 6-4. Oklahoma State coming off a nice win against Texas. Kansas State coming off that loss against TCU. A very good TCU team here. 2 good teams here, but Oklahoma State 8-0 covering on the road. I've been riding Oklahoma State all season, man. They've been nothing but money. They've been great to bet on. And just kind of getting disrespected on the road. I think Oklahoma State's the better team here. Give me Oklahoma State plus 1.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Oregon versus California. Oregon opening up as a 17-point road favorite with the over-under at 56.5. Oregon coming into this matchup 6-1, 5-2 covering the spread. Cal 3-4, 4-3 covering the spread. Oregon coming into this 8-2. Head-to-head wise, Oregon coming on a nice winning streak, coming off a 15-point win against a very good UCLA team. And Cal on a 3-game losing streak. And a tough little stretch for Cal. And now they're up against a very good Oregon team here. Yeah, going to be very tough. And the way Oregon's playing. So I'm going to take Oregon minus 17 and a money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Wake Forest versus Louisville. Wake Forest opening up as a 3-point road favorite with the over-under at 64.5. Wake Forest coming into this matchup 6-1, 6-1 covering the spread. Louisville 4-3, 4-3 covering the spread. Head-to-head wise, Louisville is 6-3. Wake Forest on a 3-game winning streak, coming off a big Boston College win. They're playing great. I mean, their only loss was against Clemson. Again, they lost in overtime. I mean, they could easily be undefeated here. Louisville coming off 2-game winning streak, coming off a nice win against Pitt. Yeah, I love Wake Forest. Going to take the -2.5 and money line on the road. Been riding Wake Forest all season. They've been great. Sam Hartman's been elite, and the offense has been great. Both teams are going to put up a lot of points. I think the over could definitely hit today as well. But we'll take Wake Forest money line and -2.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got Missouri versus South Carolina. South Carolina opening up as a 3.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 45. Missouri coming into this matchup 3-4, 4-3 covering the spread. South Carolina 5-2, 4-3 covering the spread. Head-to-head, both teams are 5-5. Missouri coming off a 3-point win against Vanderbilt. South Carolina on a 4-game winning streak. I mean, they started the season 0-2. They started the season 1-2. And since then, on a 4-game winning streak, they've beaten Kentucky, beaten A&M. So yeah, 2 good quality SEC teams that they've beat here. And yeah, finally getting ranked. Gonna buy a point. I'm gonna take South Carolina -2.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got Kentucky versus Tennessee. Tennessee opening up as an 11.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 61. Kentucky coming into this matchup 5-2, 5-2 covering the spread. Tennessee 7-0, 6-1 covering the spread. Head-to-head, Tennessee is 8-2, so been dominant head-to-head here. Kentucky coming off a 10-point win against Mississippi State. And Tennessee, I mean, coming off great wins. They've beaten great teams. They've already beaten Bama, which is kind of the big, the monumental win for the season here. I just don't trust Kentucky, man. They've kind of struggled to score, and Tennessee's going to put up a lot of points. Can Kentucky keep up? I really don't know, but I'm not going to bet against Tennessee. They're 6-1 covering the spread, been dominant here. Give me Tennessee -11.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got USC versus Arizona. USC opening up as a 14.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 75. USC coming into this matchup 6-1, 5-2 covering the spread. Arizona 3-4, 4-3 covering the spread. Head-to-head, USC is 9-1. USC 9-0 against Arizona, where they've been absolutely dominant. Coming off that 1-point loss against Utah. So yeah, USC wants to take their anger out on this Arizona team coming off a loss. Arizona coming off back-to-back losses against Washington and Oregon. Yeah, bad spot for Arizona here. They're gonna get a mad USC team coming in here. Gonna buy the point. We're taking USC -13.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got Michigan State versus Michigan. Michigan opening up as a 23-point home favorite with the over-under at 55. Michigan State coming into this matchup 3-4, 3-4 covering the spread. Michigan 7-0, 4-3 covering the spread. Head-to-head, Michigan State 6-4, 8-2 covering the spread here. This is a different Michigan State team. They're horrible this season. Coming off a Wisconsin win, but against the good teams, against Ohio State, losing 49-20. And, Michigan probably do the same here. I mean, undefeated Michigan, what a season they're having. Dominating Penn State. I mean, they've beaten up on a lot of teams this season here. Going to be tough for Michigan State. Their offense has looked horrible this season. Give me Michigan -23 and throw them in your moneyline parlays at home. Next matchup, we got Ole Miss versus Texas A&M. Ole Miss opening up as a 2-point road favorite with the over-under at 55. Ole Miss coming into this 7-1, 3-5 covering the spread. A&M 3-4, 3-4 covering the spread. The last 10 head-to-head, A&M is 5-4. Ole Miss coming off that horrible loss against LSU, just very bad loss for Ole Miss. A&M coming off a 3-game losing streak, coming off a 6-point loss against South Carolina here. Been a rough stretch for them. I like Ole Miss to bounce back, coming off that horrible loss against LSU. I like them to bounce back on the road, and we'll take Ole Miss money line here. Next matchup, we got Pittsburgh versus North Carolina. North Carolina opening up as a 3-point home favorite with the over-under at 65.5. Pittsburgh coming into this 4-3, 2-5 covering the spread. North Carolina 6-1, 3-1 covering the spread. Head-to-head, UNC 7-3, 6-4 covering the spread. Pitt, yeah, coming off a 24-10 loss against Louisville here. I'm not in love with Pitt. They've just been not that good this season. UNC, surprisingly, very good here, 6-1. I mean, they've had a good season, despite all their defensive woes. I mean, they're good. Coming off a 3-point win against Duke on a 3-game winning streak. I mean, they've been beaten up on the ACC here. And yeah, give me by a half a point. We'll take this hot North Carolina team minus 2.5 and money line at home. Then the last matchup, we got Stanford versus UCLA. UCLA coming off or opening up as a 16.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 65. Stanford coming into this matchup 3-4, 2-5 covering the spread. UCLA 6-1, 4-3 covering the spread. Head-to-head, Stanford is 8-2, 6-3-1 covering the spread here. Stanford on a 2-game winning streak, but on those two wins, I mean, they've put up 15 on 16 points, so offense hasn't been that great. Then UCLA coming off that 15-point loss against Oregon, their first loss against a very good Oregon team, but nonetheless, this is a very good UCLA team. I think they're definitely mad, and I think they're going to take their anger out on the Stanford team here. Give me UCLA minus 16.5 and money line at home. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Saturday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Sunday. Have a good one.